Hi, it's Merryl and this is my mystery school. The new moon in Aries on the 1st of April is spontaneous and fresh, and doors are starting to open. So for this moon vid, I'm going to be doing something different. I'm going to wing it. And I'll also be using tarot cards. The chart itself is really sparse. You can see the sun and moon here over in Aries. And we also have Chiron, Mercury and Pallas joining them. This is continuing that theme of the full moons and the new moons having little bundles, little clusters of planets that have to work amongst themselves and also learn how to network with each other. So you can see in this one, we've got one bundle, Sun, Moon, Chiron, Mercury, and there's Pallas in Aries. We've got another little bundle over in Aquarius of Venus, Juno, Saturn and Mars. Pluto's sitting up here pretty much on its own. And Uranus is in Taurus, making a bit of a hit on these guys. We also have Jupiter and Neptune over here in Pisces, and they're conjunct, which is very dreamy and romantic and beautiful and quite gift-giving. But as we talked about in the last moon, if you go overboard with this one, or if you're triggered, this one can make you like gamble or take a risk without having a solid foundation. It can make you slip into fantasy and imagination. So on its own, it's a strange looking little chart. If we include dwarf planet Ceres, we start to get a completely different look. See, these blue lines all open up and suddenly there's connection between these bundles. Ceres is like Mother Earth. She's the goddess of the grains and agriculture and crops, and therefore also seasons and cycles, and that's why she's been involved in climate change and some of the extreme weather cycles, especially when she was moving in with Sedna. Sedna and Ceres have separated now, but you can see Ceres is still having an impact, one on this new moon bunch, and also our Saturn, Mars, Venus and Juno bunch. Because Ceres is agriculture and supplies, and really, look, she is much, much more than that. She is like the highest vibration of mothering, nurturing energy. So with that link, you look at what supplies are doing when Ceres is in a transit. And there's been all sorts of supply issues during the whole COVID pandemic thing. But now what we've got is a breakthrough, both coming from here and from here. This one's got a bit to do with borders and commitments. And we want to remember that Mars is war and Venus is peace. Saturn is rules and regulations. And this is in part where sanctions towards Russia, negotiations and talks have been coming in. In terms of your own life, it's where there's been a personal issue, where the boundaries have been really wobbly, where you might have had expectations that weren't met, or rules and commitments that you really have to step up to now, or you're ready to evaporate. Ceres is showing you that this is just part of a cycle, that there's new growth happening, and even when you have to live for a time empty, it passes and then the next thing comes around. She's opening up access. For our new moon bunch, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Chiron and Pallas, Ceres is also opening up some sort of creative birthing, something that you'd let go of. And all this Aries energy is giving you the courage and the energy to step out independently. Chiron's here. It's coming from a wounded part of your soul that can't stop trying to heal. You've now found a voice, or with Pallas, a way to find justice within it. And this is bringing new energy to move forward, to show your courage, to show your bravery, to be proud of your scars. Ceres is opening some lucky opportunity there for that to flow freely, for it to come from a place of deep nurturing and unconditional love, or for it to be received that way. This might be a mother figure in your life, or a new way to express mother love and mother energy. There's this real sense of planting the seed with Aries. It's the first flame. It's the first fire of the zodiac. And it just gives you that little spurt of adrenaline and strength to be a pioneer. And definitely with Chiron here, to follow your unique voice. Something that's been in extremes is starting to come together and gel and open up a new path, a pioneering path. If we include the nodal axis in this reading, we have the North Node here at the end of Taurus, South Node in Scorpio, and it sets up a really beautiful link here between Jupiter and Neptune, who are, like I said, dreamy and romantic and wish-fulfilling. And in some way, that kind of lets you off the hook of something, or else it pushes you to really enjoy a gift from the sky, some sort of universal sign that drops in, a dream, even a return of something that you used to know or a person that you used to know, coming back so that you can resolve an issue and potentially heal it, because this one is so lovely and compassionate, and this one is about healing the wounded parts of your identity that felt rejected or misunderstood. And now you've got a voice and some sort of justice to bring it forward. The South Node in Mercury is a place of purging out any fluff or lint that clouds your real core of truth, of existence, of sex, of birth, of death, that really deep place. South Node in Scorpio is clearing that part out. And that can mean bad patterns in relationships. It can mean managing your money better, clearing debt. And it can mean getting some emotional maturity and growing up and letting go of revenge thoughts or sabotage that kept you going in a loop. The North Node, which is in Taurus, which is feeling good about your self-esteem and your self-worth, knowing you're deserving, is now getting a little dreamy boost from Neptune and Jupiter. So it's kind of feel good and helps you lean into this place where you want to grow, where you want to expand. This link with Taurus can bring up change or an improvement in your work situation, your feeling of safety and security, your relationship with your body. Even a luxury gift can come with this. But Taurus also likes the simplicity of living sustainably and working manually, knowing that you've earned and deserving what's, this good gift that's coming to you. So this part's really nice. All these connections with Ceres are really nice. But these little bundles have to be able to work together and find a way to express their energy well. Personally, what that might mean for you is that you're conflicted in different parts of you, or that some parts of you, some aspects, are feeling very fulfilled at the expense of others. The new moon in Aries actually gives an opportunity for you to bravely step out and express and explore a whole new territory. I'm going to look at these now through a tarot reading. It's a bit of an experiment. Here we have the sun and the moon and Chiron. I use the Hierophant for Chiron, and in some decks, like Mythic Tarot, the Hierophant actually is depicted as Chiron. It's because he's a bridge between two worlds, not because he's a religious guy. But anyway, there we go. We got Chiron, Sun, Moon, and Mercury. Up here, we've got Venus. I might have to move these. Venus, Juno, Saturn, and Mars. So that's a different looking bundle when you look through the eyes of tarot. Ceres is the Queen of Pentacles, Demeter. I'm sorry, she's there. And for the North Node, I'm going to use the Star. And for the South Node, I'll use the World, because it's the culmination, it's the end. Here's Pluto, who is Judgment. Then we have Uranus, the Fool. And Jupiter and Neptune here. To lift it up. And because our feature is the new moon, we'll whack in Aries, the Emperor. I might put him here. He's first. Actually, no, he goes here. Chiron, Sun, Moon, Mercury in Aries. Okay, so when we go through here, if we start at the top, Venus, Juno, Saturn and Mars. This looks like the breakdown of a relationship, of the breakdown of rules. This is a powerful feminine force that knows its abundance, that knows its creativity. And Juno is the one that presides over commitments and makes sure that those commitments are met. In this case, there's been a breakdown. And I don't think these ladies are happy about it one little bit. Just as a little footnote, Saturn is the devil in tarot cards, but the way it's depicted in the story of the tarot as the rules inverted. See, we've got an inverted pentagram. Pentagram is the symbol of Venus, and also we can see that with Ceres. So there's some inversion of this feminine power. Because of the trines and the sextiles, we know that this card is beneficial to this card, or this section, this first section. And we know this card, the North Node, is beneficial to this, Jupiter and Neptune. So maybe I should look at that. Jupiter is the wheel of fortune, where fate and timing is out of your hands. The best thing you can do is seize an opportunity. Neptune in the tarot is the Hanged Man. And it's a time of waiting, a time of magical transition, having patience and being able to surrender and dissolve and let go. So if you can let go, Jupiter is able to expand and the fate takes hold. These two together have that feeling of ripening or a quickening. The Hangman also says that you need to change your perspective. So if you want better luck or better opportunity, you need to change your perspective. And the Hangman reverses and becomes illumination. And we've got the North Node supporting that. There's healing and recovery and regeneration, spiritual growth that can come if you change your perspective and let go. Looking at our Aries new moon bundle, we have Chiron, the Sun, Moon, Magician in Aries. And how I read this is having authenticity, allowing a process or a bridge to manifest down into a real actual form. So there's some disparate, cut off aspect of you that has come to light and it's thrown you into some sort of confusion, a bit of a journey. Everything's got too hard to bring this up. But with Mercury there, Mercury's the magician, there's a new energy, as above, so below. A new knowledge, a doorway opens, there we go. A doorway opens and allows a framework to take place. Because Aries is represented by the Emperor, it's a very severe part of Aries. It's the old war general who's laid down his weapons. He doesn't have to throw his weight around anymore. And we know he's an Aries because he's an old grumpy general, but also, see, there's the rams there and here. And in this journey, it's a journey from taking a step on that bridge to fulfill your spirituality, to make a spiritual union. And by the end of this, it's part of who you are. You don't have to fight or defend anymore. This could also be therapy or analysis, digging deep into childhood wounds and expressing them in a new way, because we're going to change our perspective, and even dealing with issues of authority. But in Aries, Aries is the archetype of bravery. It might be time you can put down your weapons and hold your power. You don't need to throw it around. That's awesome. Uranus down here is represented by the Fool, the card 0. And Uranus is kind of out of play. It's having a little bit of an impact on these guys. They're those guys. And I think it's just sending that wave of shock that, oh my God, you have to see the truth here. And the truth means you need to break away and move off or change things in a fundamental way. And I think that just repeats the pattern. I don't know that Uranus is adding extra fuel to the fire in this moon phase, where it certainly has in not so much last moon, but in the last many moons. Because Uranus is square these guys, the thing to watch is full energy entering into this, taking a risk without knowing what you're jumping into, getting distracted or pulled off your course, making a dumb decision. That's the sort of thing that could disrupt this. And on the other side of the coin, you can look at being too afraid to make the jump, being too afraid to read the signs that something has broken down here and there's a hard truth. As for Pluto, well, in the chart, it's the first time Pluto is barely involved in anything. And if we read this line going this way, which is that the South Node is the first over the horizon of this little bunch, then Pluto, and then each of these guys, it does give a sense of the old world breaking down, being purged, being called into account, revelations, disruption, a hard truth, leading to new growth, new power, and new forms of leadership. So it's a kind of a careful balance about jumping free and being a fool, or not taking the opportunity, holding back, refusing this call of breakdown. So just to sum up, find your unique talent and get out there and plug it. There's lots of positive opportunities coming your way if you open yourself to this kind of integration, transparency, honesty, and healing. Enjoy the spontaneity of the Aries new moon. I'm Merryl, and this is my mystery school. Support my channel with a like, follow, share, and subscribe. And check my other videos or contact me www.merrylkey.com. Blessed be.